go.
Don, your husband's suspenders?
Yep.
I am the husband of the suspender.
I know, you would.
That's why I chose it.
If I had a saver, she'd be pissed off.
Savers versus spenders. Do you know which one you are? Do you know which one your spouse is? Perhaps in your current relationship, you don't see eye to eye financially, and you would like to learn some techniques to make the discussions easier. Today I'm going to teach you about dialectical tensions in communication, specifically talking about money. First I'm going to teach you what a dialectical tension is, then I'm going to demonstrate how couples close their communication, and finally I'm going to teach you how you can have a more open dialogue. The textbook Essential Communication teaches that dialectical tensions are opposing forces within communication. They're a part of every relationship. They just need to be managed. Neither opposing force is better than the other. They just need to be balanced so that every partner is feeling like they're getting heard. There are several dialectical tensions, but I'm specifically talking about openness versus closeness. Openness refers to the desire to share personal information with your significant other, and closeness is exactly the opposite, where it's the desire to keep your personal information private. This dialectical tension can be showcased in an example where couples might have a money talk, where they need to discuss their money. Talking can make people feel very vulnerable, and each needs to decide how much or how little information you want to share. There are lots of reasons why people can close their communication, especially if they're afraid that they have made a mistake in the past and they're nervous and embarrassed by it, or they're afraid to show their spouse how much money they're actually spending on their credit cards. So next I want to teach you how we can communicate while navigating financial discussions. When I was doing my research online, I found a New York Times article where the author discusses that exact topic. According to her research, the number of times couples fight about their budget has a direct correlation to their divorce rate. So this is a very important topic that couples need to be able to discuss. The author gives them suggestions in order to begin that discussion. The first one she gives is to dig into your own financial history. Find out where your attitudes about money came from. It's probably from your parents because they modeled the behavior that you were exposed to while you're growing up. Sometimes we're taught that money is a taboo subject, and that leads to secrecy, and secrecy breeds distrust, and that closes communication. My own history taught me that money was scarce. There was never enough, and I adopted that as an adult, and so I'm always wanting to hang on to my money. I don't like to spend it. I hate it. So how do couples on opposite ends of the spectrum bridge that communication gap? In the research that I was doing, I really wanted to find concrete ways that would help people to open up their communication. The Southern Communication Journal specifically addressed this in an article, and it was about dialectical tensions specifically between married couples. They found that there are some significant fears that couples have when talking about finances and whenever they're disclosing anything personal about themselves. The fears are that they're exposing their marriage to vulnerability and possible dissolution. They're worried that the information that they're giving is going to affect their spouse's view of them, or sometimes they might withhold information because they think they're protecting their spouse. The author gave several strategies, but I'm going to focus just on two. The first one is topic selection. This is the process of separating issues, and it could look like one day you're talking about the budget, and then at a different time you're going to talk about your retirement fund. Topic alternation is the second strategy, and it's very similar to topic selection, but it refers to blocking out regular specified times in order to discuss that topic and that topic only. For me personally, my husband and I set aside time to talk about our money goals, and it's actually kind of exciting to plan our future together, and so I really enjoy it, and I think it increases our bond. So today I asked if you were a saver or a spender. I taught a little about dialectical tensions and how they can affect how open or closed we are when discussing money. I talked about how our communication might close up, and I offered some strategies that could allow for a more open dialogue with your spouse. If you find yourself having a money talk, remember that being either more open or more closed is not necessarily a bad thing. It just needs to be managed and negotiated with your spouse so that both parties feel heard. In closing, I hope you have heard something today that might be helpful during your own money talks.
Do I pan again?
Yeah,
I definitely learned something.
you did?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
I did too.
A lot of self-reflection in that speech.
Good?
What made you choose this topic?
We're good?
Huh?